We found big retailers with little regional competition can extract large profits simply by adjusting prices of essential goods like food items. My concern is that these tools will be abused in the pursuit of profit, surging prices on essential goods in areas with fewer and fewer grocery stores.
But even if you saw them, you might not know they're digital price labels. Take a look. You see they look a lot like paper labels, but they're not. They can be changed digitally using an app, and they can be changed within minutes.
Have you noticed that your grocery bill seems to be creeping up when every single week your shopping cart looks the exact same? It's not just inflation anymore. Welcome to the new age of shopping, where grocery prices can actually change on you in real time, and hidden surcharges are popping up at checkout. But here's what's really happening behind the scenes. It is a wave of dynamic pricing, and it's powered by artificial intelligence, and it is sweeping across American stores. And it's not just targeting luxury items and airlines anymore. It's coming for your everyday groceries.
How much danger is there here if shoppers aren't reassured that they're not hiking prices?
That's exactly the point. Once that technology is in there, and that's my concern, they can raise prices. On a hot summer day, I want a lot of ice cream, I want lemonade. They're running low, they can raise the price.
So what exactly is dynamic pricing? Imagine purchasing an item for one price and then it's another price during that same day, just depending on the time of day that you actually purchased it. Like purchasing a box of donuts for $8 at noon when it was $10 at 9 a.m. simply because it was breakfast time. It sounds wild, but it's happening right now. Big box retailers are already starting to roll out digital price tags and smart labels.
I can't tell if this is awesome or horrible. Many grocery stores around the US are going to start implementing digital price tags. Now you may be thinking to yourself, oh, that's not too bad. It's probably going to make it more efficient, right? Yeah, it will certainly do that, but they're also going to be implementing dynamic pricing like Uber and Ticketmaster. You know how Uber increases their prices if something is in very high demand, just as Ticketmaster does as well? Well, yeah, that's going to be happening at your local grocery store as well in the near future. You're going to have to get your Thanksgiving turkey in July now, because by the time November rolls around, it's going to be $40 a pound. And you can just forget about chicken wings or ranch on Super Bowl Sunday. Now, grocers like Walmart say that these digital price tags are going to improve overall productivity and efficiency. Definitely. And that's because they can change the price of thousands of items at one time versus having an employee go around and change them by hand. So is this a smart thing to do to evolve with technology and use it for your advantage? Absolutely. And honestly, it may come in handy for us as customers from time to time. Oh, my bag of chips that was $4 last week is now $3.25. But like I said about the turkeys, I can see this going horribly wrong when something is in very high demand.
Companies like Denovation Technologies and even tech giants like Microsoft are helping stores automatically update prices. And they're updating these prices based on demand, time of day, or even how crowded the grocery store is. And it doesn't stop there. You know those reward programs that are asking you for your telephone number? It's not just for coupons anymore. They're actually gathering data and building a profile just for you based around things that you buy, when you buy, and how much you're willing to pay. But here's where things get a lot more personal and even a little unsettling. Some companies are now using facial recognition technology.
When you are out grocery shopping, you may not realize what is watching you.
Some supermarkets are using facial recognition technology to catch thieves. But as CBS 2's Christy Kalishian reports, shoppers have questions about privacy.
You'll see this sign letting you know it collects or shares biometric information, including eye scans and voice print. Some feel they're shopping with Big Brother watching over.
I could see it being sort of an invasion of privacy for some people. Yeah.
Now, any retailer that is using the facial recognition technology are saying that it is solely for the purpose of deterring shoplifters. Because as we all know, shoplifting is at an all-time high. I just recently did a video talking all about that. Thieves are becoming a lot more brazen. And so the use of facial recognition technology is really useful to catch those people when they enter the store so that they can be sought out and removed before they're able to shoplift and damage the store that they're entering. But that same technology could potentially be used to tailor prices based on your age, your gender, your income, and even your credit score.
Danavation Technologies is a provider of digital smart labels powered by an automation technology that lets companies automate their labeling, pricing, product information, and promotions in real time.
We love it.
Yeah. So the price that you buy might soon depend on who you are and not just what you're buying. So why would companies do this? The answer is really simple. Profit pressure. With inflation making everything from staffing stores to packaging merchandise much more expensive, and with shoplifting being an even bigger issue now than ever before, retailers are desperate to squeeze every cent that they can from every single transaction possible. So instead of just simply raising prices across the board and facing customer backlash, they're using AI to target customers that are more likely to pay a little bit more, especially when you're tired, a store is really super crowded, or you just look less sensitive to price. Now, how exactly widespread is this, right? It's not just grocery stores. This is really common on sites like Amazon. It's also starting to happen at fast food chains. Not too long ago, Wendy's actually announced a surge price or dynamic pricing to happen during peak hours. And Wendy's, when they publicly announced this, they had some major backlash.
Wendy's is walking back its new pricing strategy after receiving backlash online. It's after the CEO announced the new plan last week, leading to some people comparing it to so-called surge pricing used by rideshare companies during rush hour. Now, Wendy's is clarifying the statement, saying that they didn't use that phrase, and they say that they don't plan to implement that practice.
When it comes to dynamic pricing, the price will change based on how much supply of that product exists. Surge pricing has to do with the time of day. So if there's more demand specifically for a time of day, you have that surge price, which ultimately means that price is probably going to increase.
So they started backtracking immediately and said, okay, we're not going to do that. But do you actually think that they're not going to do that? Or are they just saying that they're not going to do that because the backlash was so great? There are currently dynamic algorithms that are being created that can control what you pay, sometimes minute by minute. And at a time when 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck and credit card debt has hit record highs, this new pricing model is hitting families right where it hurts.
Kroger and Walmart, among others, are beginning to test out digital price tags, but shoppers and lawmakers are worried the change could lead to surge pricing.
For shoppers and lawmakers, Dee, they're concerned these digital price tags will eventually lead to dynamic pricing, meaning prices will change based on demand. Dynamic pricing isn't anything new. Airlines and hotels use it, but people view groceries differently.
People cannot not buy food, and it also tends to be one of the largest line items in a household's budget.
You're okay with that with airline pricings because there's offer and demand, but people have different expectations for the supermarkets.
Over the next few years, several retailers like Kroger and Walmart announced they will begin using digital price tags, a move Salerno says allows companies to quickly change prices.
To feel like you're not able to know exactly how much a grocery bill will cost could cause a lot of financial anxiety for households.
And it has gotten so extreme that the buy now, pay later apps like Klarna, Afterpay, and Affirm that once were just allowing you to put things like expensive electronics onto a payment plan, you're now able to use this for groceries. People are literally making installment payments for milk and eggs.
Customers will soon be able to pay in full or in installments when ordering groceries and food delivery. There will also be a pay later option.
In the coming years, experts are starting to warn that we're going to see some hyper-personalized pricing based on your loyalty of that store, your past purchases, and even how much the system thinks that you can afford. Yeah, that's right. If they think you can pay more, you're gonna pay more. But at the same time, if you can afford to pay less, it could be less. That's up to the system to decide. And this is more than just supply and demand. It is about squeezing every single penny possible from every shopper and maximizing the profits of that retailer. And they're using the data that you hand over every single time you shop.
And I think the real focus here and the real concern is we're all worried about grocery prices. So when you're talking about the idea that stores may use this technology to raise prices, we all think, really? Aren't we dealing with enough right now?
Now, while at this moment, there is no definitive proof that retailers are currently using dynamic pricing or the AI recognition software to tailor pricing based on who you are. The technology is there, and the pressure is on for corporations to maximize those profits. So what exactly is stopping them from doing it? Nothing. But as retailers start to blur those lines between shopping and surveillance, consumers are starting to push back. Some are starting to use only cash. They're ditching all rewards programs so that their purchases cannot be tracked. And some are even protesting by breaking the digital price tags that are already in some stores. But the possibility of all of this is making me think of one thing. When prices can change based on the hour, your face, or your phone number, what does a price even mean anymore? In just 2 years, food prices have jumped more than 20%, and people's living wages have barely budged. And for the first time, buy now, pay later sites like Klarna and Affirm are financing people's groceries. We're told that all of this tech is about efficiency, but when so many Americans are drowning in debt, it begs the question, who is this system really designed for?
But then I'm going to say there's the question of, well, why are we doing the facial recognition?
Well, different stores have used facial recognition and that technology for a lot of different reasons. Some of them were doing it in regards to shoplifting and trying to find those responsible for causing issues within stores. Now, Kroger says that they did work with Microsoft in the past, a few years ago, in regards to facial recognition technology. But the question is, how is that being used, or is it being used to set and determine prices when we all go shopping?
So if you're a consumer and you're worried about this, I mean, what's the advice you can give people right now?
Well, honestly, one thing that a lot of people have done because they are concerned about how this technology is used is they transition to online shopping.
Right.
That brings up a whole nother issue. I mean, obviously, if you are shopping on a retailer, they're using that information to determine your shopping patterns.
Right.
If AI can just simply hike up prices based on your previous purchases or your zip code, who's getting the deal and who is paying the premium? These are no longer just price tags. These are all personalized profit machines. So what are some of the things that you can do to protect yourself? You can pay with cash. You can opt out of reward programs. Even if you get some sort of a coupon for your purchase, that's the way that they're incentivizing you to actually use the reward program. So if you can shop somewhere where you don't have to rely on digital coupons for them to gather that data, if you're worried about it, maybe don't. Shop somewhere else. And always be mindful of how much personal information you are handing over. Because remember, if you are not paying them, they are making money off of you. And we give out a lot more information than we realize. And that information is extremely valuable to major corporations. And if you're able to, consider ways to reduce your living expenses or eliminate debt. Position yourself for a more expensive future, because this isn't just a passing tech trend. It's an economic transformation. So what exactly do you think about this shift in America's shopping landscape? Are we headed in the right direction, or are we just being squeezed now more than ever? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And if you like and appreciate this kind of content, make sure to hit the thumbs up before you leave. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you have not already. Ring that notification bell. That way you're notified whenever I post my next video. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.